So, everybody wanna look untouchable. Nobody wanna care too much. Nobody wants to look emotional. Nobody wants to send that first text. And nobody wanna seem attached. Everybody's trying so damn hard to protect themselves that in the midst of all of that, nobody's connecting anymore. And I genuinely think that nowadays people are confusing being emotionally unavailable with emotional intelligence. I'm just a rapper who'll be talking about topics that I find too long to fit in a song, how I feel about them, and this is one of them. Everybody nowadays is performing. We all know about people trying so hard to pretend that they don't care about other people or they don't care about certain things. You know, the pandemic of the nonchalant culture where everybody is trying hard to seem unreachable. Everyone nowadays wants to have an aesthetic personality that they mimic, that they copying from a certain celebrity or influencers or even just random people on the internet. A lot of people are not being themselves anymore, and that is really scary because people are afraid of feeling things that we should feel as humans, you know, because everybody is trying so hard to be unreachable. We all see each other online nowadays, but how many people actually are reaching out to their friends, to their loved ones, you know, just to check in, you know? Not a lot of people still do that because nowadays it's so uncool showing emotions like caring. Everybody's trying to be so stone cold that we're losing touch of what it feels like being human. I mean, when you go online, you can just tell that people miss people, but nobody's actually trying to even connect to the people that they miss. We all have a certain somebody out there that we miss that we could just reach out to and, you know, catch up and do all those things. But people nowadays would rather disappear than actually admit that they miss people. Social media changed connection because we know so much about each other, but not each other. You know, we got access to everybody, but we have connections to nobody. Nowadays, you can know someone's favorite song, their favorite restaurant, and their favorite meals without actually knowing how someone is feeling, how someone is doing, or how they even coping with life. You know, because we can see each other's stories all the time. And even with just knowing their favorite song or their favorite meal, I don't think it matters anymore to people why those certain things are rated highly, you know, to the other person. Because nowadays people don't even want to know or maybe care why a certain song could be your favorite song, what kind of emotions it evokes in you, you know, why that specific song is as high on the pedestal than the other songs, you know. Because now even friendships and relationships are just shallow and temporary. Nobody is willing to put in the effort. Nobody is willing to go that extra mile trying to build connections with other people. But again, it's difficult also trying to understand those things because now people even post pain aesthetics just for fun. Because when you try to even go the extra mile of asking how what they're going through and how they're feeling, they're just gonna tell you, oh no, it's just a post, I'm good, I'm okay, you know. Nobody's actually, people have built up walls around themselves that they're not letting people in, and they're also not willing to open up. So it just becomes a thing of like everybody's watching each other, but nobody actually wants to be fully present. A part of me feels like people are tired, you know. People are secretly exhausted from the constant pressure that we have to go through, you know, the loneliness, pretending to be okay when you're not, and overthinking. I think a lot of people are secretly tired, not physically tired, but mentally and emotionally. People must be going through it, because I know I am. Everyone is acting strong all the time nowadays. You know, we don't have the time to process the emotions that we're feeling, because we always have to move on to the next thing. And it must be tiring, because now we're forgetting being human in that process. We're losing ourselves because of all the factors that I mentioned. You know, nobody wants to admit the things that they're going through, because everybody's trying to have this bad persona, this aesthetic personality, to look a certain way, to be cool. We prioritize other people's perceptions more than our own feelings, because it is human nature feeling things and we neglecting them. And nobody wants to admit that they need people, but deep down we all need someone. We all need people, we all need love. Emotions like love are amazing, and it's things that we need. Nobody wants to admit that they want love and all of that, but as soon as people are being shown that, they know how to receive it, but they don't know how to process emotions like that, because now they try to protect themselves for so long that it's difficult to even reciprocate the same energy. And I know for a fact that almost every one of us needs love, but people are so terrified of being vulnerable, and that's a terrible thing. I genuinely think that people miss authenticity. You know, people miss having real conversations. They miss honesty, simplicity, and genuine friendships. Because everything has become so shallow nowadays that even compliments are never authentic, are never genuine. People give compliments because they want to have what you have to themselves, They want to know where to find or how they can have what they're complimenting to themselves, so they can feel a certain way, they can get the same compliments. But again, I'm not saying that people miss the old times. I'm just saying that people miss how real things used to feel. Because people nowadays don't know how refreshing honesty feels. Everyone nowadays has their guard up that even when you give feedback that is opposite to what they were expecting, they take it as criticism and it becomes a war. So I do believe that people don't know how refreshing honesty feels, because everybody's trying so hard to protect themselves that people are forgetting that genuine connections require a lot of risk. And maybe that's why everyone feels so disconnected lately, because everybody's trying so hard to protect themselves. And it sucks because it does hit, especially during the late nights when you're alone and you maybe scrolling through your phone and you seeing people maybe having the time of their lives outside, and you shying away from all of those things, having those connections, activities with them. So many people nowadays are denying themselves of fun and actually living, because people nowadays have mental pressures, from comparison and all of that, and people are struggling to actually understand that they should be going with their own pace. But again, everybody's trying hard to be untouchable. And maybe one day it'll strike that all of this isolation, the emotional unavailability, you know, the nonchalant persona you were carrying was never strength. It was just loneliness.